and that is that I will be hosting a readathon in the month of February, and it will be taking place over the course of 2 weeks from February 6th through the 19th. And this read-along is a combination of celebrating Valentine's Day for those who do celebrate it and loving your local library. I adore the library. It is my most favorite place to be in the whole entire world. And particularly the libraries that I have access to, I'm really grateful. As opposed to some in the past, the librarians are so friendly and helpful and just pleased to have people using their materials. And I just adore the library. It's a wonderful, wonderful service. I mean, you go in and you have access to thousands of books for free. It is amazing. It is an amazing service. And then in recent years, ebooks and audiobooks, and I just am so grateful for it. So I thought it would be fun to have a readathon focused all about libraries. There are many hosts for this, and we are doing a kind of choose your own adventure style where each host has 3 prompts and a theme that kind of covers their prompts. And the theme is represented by a different section of the library. And then you can choose if you want to just pick one host prompts to do, then you can just do one. You can just, if you wanted to just check out books from the library in honor of this, you could do that. Or you could pick multiple host prompts. I am striving for 5 host prompts, but I'm double dipping a lot. So I will tell you about my prompts and give you the recommendations for that. And then I will link all of the other hosts down below. And they are Petra from the channel Petra U, Tiffany from the channel Beautiful Minutia, Naomi from the channel Naomi's Bookshelf, Stephanie from the channel Miss Richards Reads, and then Melissa from the channel Fully Booked, Catherine from Taking Tea with Catherine, Rainey from Rainy Day Reads, Chelsea from Voyage of a Time Wanderer, and then we have a bookstagrammer hosting with us, and that is Jessica at Jaja Admirer of Words and Coffee. And I will, like I said, link everything down below. This is going to be a lot of fun. The very fun, festive looking graphics will be going up on Instagram. And let's just get into my prompts that I'm going to give you recommendations. And the first prompt is to read a retelling. I love a good retelling. So I'll go through these rapidly because I have a fair number. First, it is no secret that I love Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. It is the retelling of The Seven Swans. It is dark, and just you should know that there is sexual assault in this story. So you have to go in knowing that it is not going to be this very sugary sweet kind of fairy tale retelling. But the characters in this have so much depth to them, and I feel so deeply about this story, and I don't know when I will reread it. I'm scared to reread it that it won't live up to my memory, but I know I'm going to have to at some point. So yes, love this and want to read much more Juliette Marillier. Then I am going to do several Cinderella retelling recommendations for you. Let me grab them all. Goodness. Is that all of them? Yes. Okay. First, nice short and sweet one, Before Midnight by Cameron Doki. This is very fairy tale-ish feeling. It's set in France, and Cendrillon is our main character, and she lives in a house as a servant, and just wonderful magical things begin to happen in her life. And then Cinders by Finlay Aaron, The Untold Story of Cinderella. These two I meant to read last August, and then I was in a huge reading slump and I couldn't even read these. So I really do want to fix that because I've been craving a reread of these. This one I love is kind of a gender bend where she is posing as a man and in jousting tournaments, and that is the way that she gets to know the handsome prince, but he does not know that she is a damsel in distress. So I love this one. And I think if you like the kind of she's the man kind of trope, then you could enjoy that. Then this is a really fun, I don't know, like Girl Squad kind of retelling called The Stepsister Scheme, where Cinderella did get her happily ever after with the prince and married him, but then her crazy stepsister and stepmother, she only has one stepsister in this, have kidnapped the prince, and she goes with Rapunzel and Sleeping Beauty to rescue the prince. It is a lot of fun. And then Shard of Glass. For the handicraft lovers out there, I love all of the talk about embroidery in this one. This is very much just very, very magical feeling. And I really loved this one. And, oh, and also kind of high fantasy in that there are these mythical creatures that legendarily, they'll come back to this country every, I don't know, certain amount of years, and it's going to be one of those years. So the nation is kind of bracing themselves for an attack. Really cool storyline. Then I do love the Lunar Chronicles. So Cinder, the first in the Lunar Chronicles, and then I'll just say that I think the Lunar Chronicles actually only get better as they continue on. The next one is Scarlet, and then Cinder, and then Cress, and then I don't own a copy of Winter. But I think this summer actually, because I'm terrified of, you know, my summer reading slump that has been happening every year. And I think kind of whether reading these physically or on audio, I think the Lunar Chronicles could maybe keep me out of a reading slump. We shall see. And another, this is a very loose retelling, but Nightingale Wood by Stella Gibbons. And I love this one. And although the handsome prince, I will say, don't get your hopes up too much for him because he's a bit of a disappointment. But I just loved the whole book and the humor in it. It's a modern classic. So if you love that, if you love modern classics, I would definitely try Nightingale Wood. And then not a fairy tale retelling, but a retelling. And that is The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hadlow. Such an amazing book. And if you are on the fence about it, please, 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 I implore you to read The Other Bennett Sister. The Goose Girl, which I reread last summer, and it exceeded my expectations of it. It was just better than I had remembered it being. Such a good retelling about Ani, who has a special way that she can communicate with animals. There is political intrigue and upset, and kingdoms maybe going to war. I just love it, and I love the getting to do everyday life with the characters that you do in many fairy tale retellings. Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This is set in Eastern Europe and is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I just love the very folklore feel of the story. So good. And then a historical fiction Beauty and the Beast retelling is The Beast Garden by Kate Forsyth. This is set in World War II Germany. And I mean, it's going to have some really upsetting things because it's a World War II setting in Germany, no less. And it's done so well. So I recommend that. Those are all my retellings that I recommend. And then my next prompt was to read a book with a beautiful cover. So beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but a few beautiful covers off my shelves that jumped out at me. The first is The Rose Garden by Susanna Curiously. This is a historical time slip romance. And when one character, Eva, she has no idea how she does it, but she keeps accidentally traveling to the past and she falls in love with a man from the past. It is so romantic. And then I love these Barsetshire Chronicles by Angela Thirkle, these Virago covers. And these are really lovely, delightful, slice of life, modern classics. Excuse me. And I think you would really enjoy them if you like modern classics, and they're very funny. Then a charming children's book, Pippi Longstocking. Pippi is an amazing character. I love her so much. She has so much tenacity. And yes, let's see if we can find an illustration. Here's Pippi lifting 2 police officers. She also has superhuman strength, in case you did not know this about Pippi. Love that. Then why not recommend a Mary Stuart to you? This is Thorny Hole. It's one of her more lighthearted ones about, Gilly, who is, or Jilly, yes, Jilly, and she is left a house. And when she goes to the house, she realizes in this sleepy little town that her mother is rumored to have been a witch. Was she? Wasn't she? Will we ever know? Then All Creatures Great and Small, the whole series by James Herriot. I adore this series so much. It is very bittersweet. There's some really happy things. There's some sad things. I love this. A lovely middle grade that's not talked about as much on BookTube is Each Little Bird That Sings by Deborah Wiles, about Comfort Snowberger and her family who run a funeral parlor, and she writes the local obituary column in her sleepy little Mississippi town's newspaper. So I like it is multimedia, and it's just a very, very heart-bruising, as Ray from Ray of Sunlight Reads would say, book. and I love it. And then Miracles on Maple Hill. I love this cover, and I just love the story of Marley and her family who have moved to the countryside after her father has really shaken up after serving in World War II. It's an excellent, excellent book. Highly recommend it. So those are my recommendations, because the third prompt I cannot recommend for you, and I think it's going to be fun. I hope it is fun, and it is Epic Quest. Browse and find an intriguing book. So my theme for them was, my theme is fairy tales, which would be in the kind of mythology or even fairy tale section. And so those are my 3 prompts. Read a book with a beautiful cover, read a retelling, and then Epic Quest, browse and find an intriguing book. I thought that could be fun motivation, and this does not have to be going into your library physically. If you are unable to do that at this time, you can browse online to see what your library might have. You can browse ebooks, audiobooks. This does not have to be physical materials if you can't do that. So hopefully accessible to many, many people. So I will then tell you my TBR, and I will be doing Petra's first, and hers is the fantasy section, and I'm doing, so read a tome over 500 pages, and I want to continue with the Seven Sisters series by Lucinda Riley, and so next up would be the Pearl Sister, and I will be doing the audiobook of this through Hoopla. And Lucinda Riley sadly passed away last year. She had not publicly shared that she had cancer, but she actually had not gotten to finish the last Seven Sisters book. Her son will be finishing it for her, which I think is so moving that he's carrying on that legacy. But I really do want to carry on with this series, and they work especially well in audiobook format. You have these sisters, a group of sisters who are all adopted, and each book is about one sister in particular and her going back to her ancestral roots and finding out about her family and where she's from, and also thinking about where she wants to go. And the next prompt that Petra has is read a book with a map. I actually already have this library book. Hopefully I will be able to renew it if I didn't finish it in time. That is the Book of 1,000 Days by Shannon Hale. I am really scared to try another Shannon Hale after just loving The Goose Girl so much and then not loving Enna Burning. But I keep hearing such good things about this, and I'm not sure I'll either do the audiobook of this or the physical, but I will show you the map because it is intriguing. So this is sometimes upper middle grade, but also teen. Dashti is a maid, and Lady Saren, her mistress, are shut in a tower for 7 years because of Saren's refusal to marry a man she despises. As food runs low and the days go from broiling hot to freezing cold, it's all Dashti can do to keep them fed and comfortable. With the arrival outside the tower of Saren's 2 suitors, one welcome, the other decidedly less so, the girls are confronted with both hope and danger. And so I think she begins to tell them a story each night. So it's a retelling of the 1001 Nights. I think that will be a lot of fun. Then continue a series that you have started. So I have 2 possibilities for this. I've talked about Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. I want to give another try to Child of the Prophecy. This is the 3rd in her 7 Water series. I started it in August, but I was in my reading slump mood, and so did not carry on with it. But I'm also wondering, I don't know if I will love it, but I want to give it a try. And if I'm not able to finish that in time because it is a longer book, I'll just count my Somewhere Safe with Somebody Good by Jan Karen, my Mitford pick for February. I am one of the hosts of a over a year-long read-through now through the Mitford series. And then for my prompts, for retelling, I'm going to be reading a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which is rare for me because I really struggle with that fairy tale. And I feel very outnumbered in that. I don't know how many people feel the same way I do, but I just struggle with aspects of it. And her kind of being trapped in this place, and she's a prisoner, and then she falls in love with her captor. The whole thing I struggle with. I love the Disney cartoon and the live action version. The reason, though, that I'm wanting to read a Beauty and the Beast retelling is that I am part of a Betsy Tacy email chain, and we read a book every month, and I don't always join in them, and I'm late in this one because this was the January book, but Beauty by Robin McKinley, and I wasn't really open-minded about reading it because, unfortunately, I have tried Spindle's End by Robin McKinley, and I have tried it twice, and both times, the first time I made it 30% and just got really bored, and the second time I pushed myself through 50% and was just still really bored. So I just haven't thought about giving her another chance. But all of the comments that people are saying about Beauty, saying it's very, you're doing everyday life with the characters, and the things they're saying about the character of Beauty are making me think, oh, I should try this. So I just, for the month of February, I want whimsy, and I want fairy tale retellings and fantasy and children's books, and I think this could be a great one. Okay, the next one is read a book with a beautiful cover, and my sister-in-law told me about this book recently. It sounds so good. It's called Mara, Daughter of the Nile, and it's a historical fiction, and it just sounds so compelling, and I had never heard about it before, but on Goodreads, several of my Goodreads friends have read it, and I'm very excited. And for Epic, I will be doing my own Epic Quest prompt. I will let you know what I find for that. Then I'm going to be doing Tiffany's travel prompts. So her first one is, it involves travel or a journey. Then the next one is a sun on the cover or in the title, and then it's set in a country different than your own, and I'm just reusing the Pearl Sister for all of these. It works for those. Then Naomi's section, which is really fun. It's called Not a Novel. And so the first prompt is graphic novel. And I asked on my Patreon page, I asked patrons for book recommendations of books they thought I would like. And over the course of the year, I'll slowly be trying to work through those. And I really liked this suggestion from Morgan. And it's a graphic novel about Agatha Christie called Agatha, the Real Life of Agatha Christie. I'm really looking forward to trying that out. Then the next prompt from Naomi is to listen to an audiobook. And I think this will be really fun for Valentine's Day time. And it is Juliet Dove, Queen of Love by Bruce Coville. And it's about a girl who all of the boys in her class are falling in love with her. And I think it's because of a magical amulet. I'm not sure, but it just sounds like so fun for February. And then Naomi's last prompt is to watch a show / movie. And I have 3 possibilities. One is While You Were Sleeping. It is a rom-com my husband has never seen, and he does enjoy certain rom-coms. So I think this is one that he could maybe enjoy, especially the 90s ones he can really get into. Then I've also just been loving the Brokenwood Mysteries TV show, so I might watch a few episodes of that. Or Doc Martin, which I have been loving so much lately. And then lastly, I will be doing Stephanie's prompts, which her theme is Cozy Companions, which I love. The first one is Non-Traditional Cozy Companion. And the book I have selected for this is The Forgotten Beasts of Eld. This I saw on Amy at the Bookish Cookier's Instagram, and I really liked the sound of it. Just a girl who is friends with this dragon, and she's in this land, and just the cover, honestly, made it look so alluring. So I will be trying The Forgotten Beasts of Eld. And then the next 2 prompts that Stephanie has is cat or dog on the cover, and cozy mystery with an animal companion. And I am wanting to listen to the audiobook of The Tale of Cuckoo Brow Wood. This is the 3rd in the Beatrix Potter mystery series, which is just, I'm going to be so sad when I get through all 7, but I might just then be on a constant loop of rereading these mysteries because they're so good and I love the domestic feel of them. So that is my announcement and TBR for February. I hope you will join us. Just use the hashtag LibraryLoveReadathon on social media. And that is all for now. And thank you for watching as always. And I will be back with another video soon. Bye.